is. There we go. And it says that we are. What's that? Get out of my way. Okay. Anyways, it says we're live. So, anyways, everybody, welcome back to season 2 of Shadows Layer Live. We are on episode 4, and we have Dustin Ray from The Major Resolve with the song Mask that just come out, which is really awesome, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Uh, so, um, when did you decide to get into music?
Well, as a dream, as a kid, I wanted to be this big rock star and what have you. And I always said I'd be the in the biggest band ever, and I'd never go bald. All that did not happen at all. So,
Well, you know,
yeah. So I've always wanted to do music. In my early years, 20 years ago, I got into a local band where I was living and did play out, and we cut like a garage demo, and
nice.
so I was doing it then, and then life happened and stopped doing music. But I always kind of kept writing and kept playing, guitar the best I can, which isn't very well. Excuse me. And so about a year, yeah, just over a year ago, last March, my daughters and wife were kind of telling me, "Hey, will you please go and record some music?" Because I'd found an old demo and an old video of us playing live, and uh, so they kind of talked me into it, and I was like, "Well, all right, I'll do a couple, 3, 5 songs." And so that's when I kind of got back into music, I should say, as far as wanting to play.
That is so cool. So you actually know where Rome, New York is.
I do.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I do. When I was stationed at Fort Drum, New York, we used to fly out of Rome. I guess they had an air base there or something there. So, yep.
Yes,
So
Griffiths Air Force Base.
Griffith, that's right. I was trying to remember what the name of that was. So, yes, I do know where Rome is at.
Oh, and thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Um, who are some of your musical influences?
uh, you know, I kind of have a wide range of musical influences, but if I had to break it down to 3, 4 bands, it'd be Queensryche, Typo Negative, um, Depeche Mode is another big one. Those three, I guess, would be my biggest influences.
That's really cool. Now, is there anybody that you want to like really, really collaborate with? Like that would be the ultimate.
Oh Lord, um, it would have been cool to collaborate with Peter Still. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. That would have been awesome. I think at this point, uh, if I could do anything with the former guitarist of Queensryche, Chris DeGarmo, that'd be amazing. So, just off the top of my head, those would be awesome. But to be honest with you, just to collab with anybody would be pretty cool. So,
Yeah, that's what I look at it too. There's those ones that I really, really want to collab with, but then any collaboration is like a dream. So
right, yeah, that shows that they respect what you're doing and want to be a part of it. So that'd be one of the ultimate compliments, I guess.
yeah, it would be for sure. Is there a favorite instrument that you do have that you like either play or is just your favorite overall?
My favorite instrument would be the bass. Um, I just love a good bass line and just the heaviness and the bottom heavy of it. So I'd have to say the bass guitar would be my favorite instrument.
Nice. So the song Mask is very, very interesting. When I listen to it, it kind of brings me back to thinking about somebody's talking about trauma and trying to get over things. Is that where those lyrics come out of?
Yeah, exactly. And more in detail with it's more of being an adult and looking back at at things and kind of question it from an adult's point of view, somebody who has kids, or just an adult that you can think better, and you're wondering, really, how did this happen? Why did this happen? You know, what was it? So that's exactly, it's about dealing with trauma, but more so as an adult looking back and reflecting on it with an adult mindset and with life experiences. So yeah, exactly.
That's cool. I'm sorry about how you had to get there to get the lyrics, but just the way that you put it is really kind of it just kind of makes you sit there and think for a minute.
Good.
It,
Yeah, that's what I, you know, as much as I'd love people to like the song, I also don't want people to be able to relate to the song. But if you can relate to the song, then hey, you're not alone. And honestly, part of the silent majority when it comes to a lot of that stuff. So,
yeah, but your vocals are fire on that though.
oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. But also too, it goes to show too that again, like when I always speak about men's mental health, it's really important to me. My husband is a Navy veteran, so
Well, thank you for
uh,
your service as well.
you're welcome. And I thank you everybody that served, past, present, and future, and all their
Yes.
first responders too. Y'all are amazing. 100.
Yes.
But I am so sick of that stereotype. Yes, men are strong, but yet they should be allowed to have their emotions and show them and things like that. I was at a Black Label Society show once, and Zach Wild said on stage when he was toasting Dimebag that don't ever like something up to the effect of don't trust a man that cannot shed a tear because that man is not human. I believe that 100%, and just the whole stigmatism that men can't have feelings, this, that, and the other, and just supposed to take, 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 and take. That's not okay.
No, and it's not. And the thing about that is, I think that's a generational thing. I think that's an upbringing, and it's a stereotype of how a man should be. I'm at fault with it too because I do my best to keep my emotions inside in check. That's why I like writing music. It's kind of like my form of therapy to get it out. Um, but it's kind of a sad thing because um, you are programmed, from both sides. I mean, it comes from men and it comes from women. There's this idea that's brought to, um, and I'm speaking from the point of view of a man because I am. That's my best my best reference to it. But you are supposed to be a certain way, or the idea. And if you show emotions, or if you shed a tear, or if you apologize, for admitting you're wrong with something, that kind of goes against what you're supposed to be, and it is. And I think for me that really hit home, coming back from a deployment, and you know uh, a couple of guys that brought the war home with them to the point where it ended them, and they didn't reach out. And so for me, that's something that I wish I would have had that moment in time to go back and sit down and talk with them, and be there for them on an emotional level, as opposed to, hey, suck it up. This is what it is. Deal with it. Totally the wrong attitude to have, and I admit it, and
Exactly.
I'll live with that the rest of my life. That I went about it that way. But at the same time, I was dealing with my own stuff, and I don't make excuses for it. I was wrong, and so that's just something I think as I'm getting older and dealing with some of my own things, I'm realizing, man, I could have handled that a lot better way.
Yes, and if people don't know that there's ways out there to help them and things like that, they will literally take it out on everybody and anybody near them. And please don't. It's okay to not be okay,
Yeah.
but please reach out for help, people, if you need it. It doesn't matter who you, even if you just text a friend or something, you're just having a bad day. Or there's all these text services that you can talk to people anonymously, phone
Hmm.
calls that you can do anonymously now. And I highly recommend that if you can get into a therapy situation, please do.
Yeah, definitely. And don't be I was kind of the, I don't need therapy. I don't need medication. And I went down the wrong way with self medicating myself, and it wasn't healthy. And once I did get the help, I started to learn different avenues and different ways to deal with what I was going through. Um, and I think if I wouldn't have reached out and gotten that help, who knows where I'd be today, honestly. So,
Right. Well, I'm glad you did reach out because otherwise you wouldn't be here to create all this cool music.
well, thank you. Yes, I appreciate it, and I'm glad I went down that route I did when I did. So,
Yeah, because it's like me imagining in my 20s trying to do this. That would have been impossible at that time, but it's not anymore.
right, and I think the resources today are a lot more available for people. You have social media, you have these 1-800 numbers, you have these websites where you can go get a therapist, even if it's for
Yes.
one session. That's great having all those resources, and I think especially for kids today, excuse me, and younger adults, I think it's more important now that they have those resources the way they do.
Yeah, it really is. So, do you play out anywhere, like gig out yet?
No, not yet. You know, and originally, uh, I was just going to record 3, 5 songs, give it to my friends, give it to my family, and I was just going to call it a day. Um, and now I'm thinking about, once I get the album out, if there's players that like the music enough to want to get up on stage with me, then yeah, it is in the works. It is something I'd like to do, just to kind of see how it would go over live. Plus, it'd just be fun to get back on stage and have fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I can't wait for that to happen when you start playing out and go on tour because we'll have to let everybody know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm hoping it works out the way I want it to, and I hope there's enough reception and thumbs up for it to
Oh yeah.
justify moving around a little bit and traveling to different places. So I just go with the flow with it. I'm having fun. I'm keeping it fun. I'm and just enjoying everything that's happening through this, because I never expected the community that I'm in, the people, you who are interested. It's like, wow, this is nuts. So
Have you ever thought in your wildest dreams that you would be sitting here today talking about all this and you're getting into music and things?
ooh, no, no, not at all. And still I kind of sit down and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And from not even having this a year ago to where I'm at now, I'm truly blessed. I mean, I really am. So,
So when are you gonna drop another release?
I think the next release, I'm not exactly sure. I think maybe what is it, the 18th next month or the beginning of the following month. I'm not really sure exactly when it's going to get released. So it's pretty much pretty much ready to go until I'm told it's not, and then, then I got to go back and do a couple things, and then uh, just so I don't know exactly when yet.
That's cool though. So do you do any of the producing side of your tracks?
Not really. My involvement in all this from that standpoint is listening to it when I get a copy and like, hey, what do you think? Do you have any notes? Anything we need to do? Uh, and that's kind of my involvement in it. I'm kind of not limited, but I have Tater Johnson, who I'm under his indie label. He's a great guy, and he kind of just takes the ball and runs with it. And uh, I just kind of do what I got to do. I bring up the ideas, bring up the lyrics that I have, and then he just runs with it, and we go back and forth. You like this? You like that? And that's kind of how that goes. That's kind of my
Well,
involvement.
well, between the two of you, you guys get some really amazing creations out of it. Because I was also listening to the rest of your stuff too. I was going through the and listening to it. Like everybody needs to just go spin you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do.
Like they really do. Well, where are you out of now?
I live in Vine Grove, Kentucky,
Oh,
so it's just southwest of Louisville.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So
So
if you were having a show in town and fans were coming from all over, is there like a specific section or area that you would recommend that they check out and see the sites or a favorite restaurant that they might want to try?
well, we have in downtown Louisville, we have Fourth Street, and that's pretty much where a lot of bands play. That's kind of the nightlife scene right there. So that's a great place for anybody wanting to come experience Louisville and kind of the music scene. There's great venues, all over Louisville that it's great to go see a show. So I'd say around Fourth Street and
Mhm.
around that area, right on the waterfront. So it's cool. It's a very nice place.
Wow, that sounds awesome. So, oh, what is it? Favorite food?
Oh, I would say my favorite food is probably going. Well, I'll tell you my favorite food right now that I can't get enough of: nachos. I'll kill some nachos.
Now, are you a palate high kind of guy when it comes to that, or prefer spicy versus savory?
I'm just throw it on there and let's just see what happens. I like some spice, savory, but you know, if I almost have to use a fork or I should use a fork, that's when I know I have enough toppings. But I don't need them. I just use a lot of napkins.
Well, it doesn't make sense with nachos to me either. You kind of got to get in there with your hands, no matter which way you look at it,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's not gonna, you know. Um, Also, are do you prefer coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yes, coffee 100.
All right. See, yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite brand of coffee?
Oh, I got two. I got Death Wish coffee makes a great like a hazelnut caramel or a hazelnut chocolate, and then Black Rifle Coffee Company has a great high caffeine coffee because I drink all my coffee just black. So those are my two favorites right there.
That's cool, cool. In this house, we like the Black Rifle coffee.
All right.
You know, also too, we run on Duncan and Folgers Colombian.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, that's good too. That Folgers Colombian is good too.
Do you have a favorite coffee chain that you like to stop at?
Not necessarily. There's honestly, there's just this local drive up coffee trailer that they set out there. I can't remember what it's called. That's if I'm gonna get coffee, that's usually where I go. Just this local little place
Oh,
that's in the parking.
yeah. Some of them little coffee carts like that are really, they're actually really cool and have some really tasty coffee, actually, and some flavors that you wouldn't expect.
Right.
It is so cool, like when they do that. So, are you going to be putting out more videos on YouTube?
Yes. For each song, we do like a video teaser. It's about a minute long. Once we get done with the album, we're gonna pick probably what we think is probably our best song, or what I think is probably my best song, and then we're gonna do a full length music video from that. So
Oh, that's intriguing.
yeah, so
I,
we
I
don't know
like
which one yet. So
I like those little 1 minute clips. They're just kind of like I'm looking at them like I want more.
that's awesome. That's kind of the goal is to kind of just kind of show, just show me up there, and Tater's always in the videos too, playing guitar, and it's just fun for us to kind of like, hey, okay, here's kind of what we got going on. Uh, Even if you don't like my goofy dancing, even though I got three different dancing styles, but if you can get past that and like the music, then go stream the rest of the song.
Oh, unique dancing styles. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I keep every time like I'll show my kids, hey, I got a new video teaser out. You want to look at it? And they're like, oh, let me guess. So they'll sit there, wait. Yep, Dad, that's one. Yep, Dad, that's the second one. Where's your third move? Oh, there it is. And I'm like, I'm not going to show you guys anymore if you can't appreciate my awesome dance moves.
right? Maybe they just don't know how to do your awesome dance moves. Maybe that's the problem. You
Maybe
never
that's
know.
what it is.
It could be. You never know.
I even admit I look goofy, but I just can't seem to stop with this. I don't know what this is. It seems like every video has this. I don't know what that is, but it just seems to happen.
It's the way you're feeling the music. It really is. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, hey, if I can laugh at it, hopefully
Right.
everybody else can laugh at it. You know what I mean? So,
Right. That is so cool. Now, do you prefer like truck, cars, or motorcycles?
see, in my younger years, I would have said motorcycle, but now I don't want to die riding one because there's some crazy people out there driving. But
There is.
you know, I'm pretty much I like trucks. I don't own a truck, but I like trucks. So I'll go with trucks because I guess if I had my way, I'd probably have a big old truck.
Have you ever rode a bike before?
I did when I was younger. Yes.
And what did you ride?
Oh, it was just a dirt bike. I honestly don't even remember the size of it or even what it was because I was a teenager and we would just kind of get on it, take the back roads as much as we could before we had to get off because a car was coming or what have you. So I've never had an awesome like street bike um, because by the time I could afford to get one, I was having kids, so they took all my
Yeah,
money.
well, that's cool.
So and I have 7 daughters, so I need a
Oh,
big
nice.
vehicle. So
Yes, you do. You
uh,
need like a Yukon XL, like
yes, yes. We got a Kia Telluride, and it seats 8 people. So that's still not enough for the whole family because there's 9 of
no.
us all together. But it does get me out of going to places I don't want to go to either. So it kind of
Hey,
works
if
for
it
me.
works, if it works, there's nothing wrong with it. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Like, oh wow. So, like, do you fish or hunt?
I do fish. I got a pond in my backyard that I'll go out there and catch some bass, catch some bluegill, and I just toss them back. And yeah, so I do fish.
That is cool. Also, do you prefer if you were going to get together with for a celebration with family or some close friends, would you prefer a backyard barbecue or out to a restaurant?
Backyard barbecue.
Definitely.
Yep, I like the whole vibe of everybody kind of getting together outside and just enjoying
Yeah.
the weather.
Well, that and it seems to be more relaxed than if you go in a restaurant and things like that. So,
Yes, yes. This is more low key. I'm pretty simple. I mean, you throw some hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill, hey, I'm good. So I'm
right.
not fancy by any means. So
Oh, hey, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
keeping it real. There's nothing wrong with that either. That's
yeah.
awesome. Is there any questions that you would like to ask me?
Sure. So from Rome, New York,
Yes.
ended up in South Carolina.
Yes.
That's quite the change from upstate New York to the South there.
Yeah, it is. But I like the little bit of slower pace where everybody's not in so much of a hurry.
Right.
So, I mean, you know what I mean? Also, too, I don't miss the piles and piles of snow and all the cold because Rome, New York's inside of Oneida County, which is inside of the Mohawk Valley.
Okay.
So that's why it's always so humid there and things like
Okay.
that. Is because we're literally in a valley. So if you know stuff about the valleys and the lakes and the things and how it just everything just goes
Yep. Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah, that's it. I was yeah, because I remember being just freezing. It seemed like it was either warm or freezing up there with 10 feet of snow everywhere.
Yes, all the time. That and the rain and the flooding, but everything in in parts of New York State that are on a hill and stuff. This area, the northwest part of the upstate of South Carolina, everything's on a hill because we're at the bottom of the mountains,
Oh, okay.
like considered in the foothills and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So, and Anderson's like I think it's a little over 2 hours to get to Asheville, so it's like 2 hours to the mountains. Then there's maybe half an hour drive to Hartwell Lake, cross over that, and you're in Hartwell, Georgia, 2 hours from Atlanta, about 4 hours from the ocean.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of nestled in there because you got was that the Blue Ridge Mountains, isn't it? Up
I
there,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I
So
think so. I'm trying to remember because I was just reading something and watching things on the history of with mountains and things like that last night. So I've the different names are all in my head right now.
right,
But
sure.
but they're cool though. Mountains are really cool.
Yeah, and it's pretty area out there. I lived in I lived in North Carolina, and so I go back. I got a good friend that still lives in the Winston Salem area of North Carolina, and it's pretty out there. I really do like that area out there.
That's pretty cool. Um, so on a free day where you have time to go do something, what was some of the activities that you really enjoy other than music?
Uh, some of my hobbies when I get a chance is uh, I like to. I don't know. I don't have any free time hardly. You would think I have a lot of free time, but I like just kind of going out. I do like going fishing. I like going out to when I get the chance. I like going to pawn shops and thrift stores, uh, checking things out. We got like a flea market out here. I don't get to it very much, but I like pilfering through things and kind of seeing what people are getting rid of that I find value in, and it's kind of like a kind of like a treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to get.
No,
So
you don't. I seen a thing on YouTube. Somebody had went to an antique shop or something, and there's like 4 or 6 pictures. I can't remember how many, but they paid $2 for the whole pile of pictures, and to come find out, it was a very authentic picture of. I think it was Billy Kid from back in the day and his homeboys that were with him in front of this one house and how they authenticated it as they went looked
really,
at the picture of the house and stuff like that that was on this, and I guess that photograph sold for like $5 million.
ooh, Lord,
So
yeah,
everything that you find in them places, double check them because you never know.
yeah, that's true. And if I could find a thing like that where I pay a couple bucks and get that much money, well, that'd be a good day for me.
Right? For anybody, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true.
So
So
recently, I gotta tell you a story. Recently, I think it was like not last month, but at the end of the month before, I had this seventh grader knock on my door. He was trying to look for odd jobs to earn money for the rest of his field trip. Well, I'm like, wait a minute, let me do one better. I got a podcast. I emailed the school. Still have not heard back to them because I wanted to do a thing and partner with them and have them give me a link that people could just donate to help all the students because they're
yeah,
well, it's a cool field trip. They're going to the Atlanta Aquarium. And not only is that place really cool because I've been there, I highly recommend it. It's relaxing, just a different see animals and wildlife like that from the sea and stuff. It's so cool. But also it's highly educational. And
oh,
all
okay,
these kids, they showed up every day for school, did what they're supposed to earn their field trip, and then the school's going to slap them with a $130 price tag. And in this economy, I was like, are you serious? Because there's a
right,
couple times I had to sit back from a field trip. My kids had to miss a couple just because it wasn't in the budget. And
right.
here I'm like, well, let me see how I can help the whole seventh grade. The school never responded back to me.
Well, that's odd. Yeah, that'd be a great opportunity to help all the kids trying to go on that field trip and not just one kid. So,
Right.
well, hopefully there's still time and they'll get back to you. You
Yeah,
know,
I hope so, but I doubt it.
yeah, because that's the thing. Field trips. My kids get to go on field trips, and even my older kids are still going on field trips, and yeah, they're not cheap. It's a reward because they've done so good in school. But and I get, parents having to pick up and pay for the kids to go. I don't have an issue with that. That's why my wife and I will usually, like we have a book fair that our kindergartners in, and we always they always ask, hey, if you have any extra money or you want to donate for some of the kids that don't. And so we always do that. We always say, hey, well, here's an extra X amount. Please give it to a kid in the class who doesn't have it, because that's tough to be a kid. I've been in the situation as a kid, and everybody's looking around buying stuff, and you're kind of in the corner thinking, well, I'd like to have that book, or I'd like to have this or that. But yeah, it's hard on kids to have to sit and watch that and not understand why.
Yeah, we have a couple of comments. Angie O'Brien, my co-promoter, she said, "Hi, Shadow and Dustin, sharing out." Tracy Bigford says, "I love it." Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Oh, Tracy says, "I can't imagine how much it is nowadays." Exactly.
Yes, and it's getting more expensive each year. I got kids from kindergarten all the way to sophomore in high school, and it just keeps getting more and more expensive.
Wow. How do you enjoy being a girl dad?
I love it. I can't imagine not having girls. Granted, they can be a pain in the backside a lot of times, and as they're getting older, I can't relate to what they're going through. But I'm pretty spoiled in the fact that I get a lot of attention. I get my toes painted,
Nice.
and so I love it. It's a blast because um, it's just there's a certain thing where you're the hero as when they're kids, and then my dad's cool. Now they're some of them are in the high school, and so dad's still cool sometimes.
Right.
Unless I'm trying to give advice, and they're like, well, dad, you don't know, you've never been through this, you're not a girl. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, I'm not. Why you asking me then, if you already know that's the answer you're going to give me?
Well, at least you're there to listen. I
I
mean,
am.
even if you may not understand, you may be able to, through dad's eyes and perspective, be
Yeah,
able to
that's
give some advice. So, girls, please listen to your dad.
yeah, well, now I even know when they come up to me, dad, I got to tell you something. I just stop. I'm like, okay, first of all, I need to know what am I in this conversation? Am I just an ear, or am I a fixer? Because I'm going to want to fix the situation. But if that's not what you're looking for, let me know so I know which hat to wear so I don't screw this up. So
Right.
now
You
they
need
come
to
up
know
and they,
what version they need. That is always helpful. I've got two kids and a step kid. So I have my son is going to be 25 in August. My daughter is going to be 21 in June.
oh wow,
And then our stepchild just turned 46.
wow.
Yeah, so between me and my husband, we have four grandkids and two great grandkids, but we don't see anybody. So, shout out to all y'all. You know who you are if you're listening.
Well, there. What my next question is: how is it being a grandmother?
Actually, it was really good when I was involved with my granddaughter and with the other grandkids, because the other grandkids are older. One I think is 2 years older than my son, and then the other one's like a year or two older than my daughter, and then the last one's like a year older. And then there's the little baby that was born. I think it was 2016. And she was goober. She was everybody told me that's your baby, that's your baby, that's your grandbaby. So yeah, it was. I really liked it because the things that I wouldn't mess around and let my kids do, it was fun because I used to do it with her. So yeah,
Yeah, see that's good though. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, when I say I'm looking forward to it, I mean like when they're in their 30s and start having kids, I'll be ready to be that grandpa who's like, oh no, you get whatever you want.
oh
You're
yeah,
that's
you're gonna crush it for
so, but
sure.
like I said, I want to. My oldest is 16, so another 14, 15 years, she's free to have kids. I'm okay with that.
Any of them driving?
No, so my oldest Chloe, she is old enough to get her permit. She doesn't want it. I'm making her get it, but she doesn't want it. She just tells me all the time. Anytime I bring it up, hey, Bug, when are you gonna go get your permit. Let's go take tests. And then all I hear is, why couldn't we live in a city where I can just get a bus pass? So,
Well,
uh,
also tell her not to knock it too, because before my appointment last week at the eye doctor's office, I still had 20/40 vision. So if I wanted to, I could get a permit. I had it once, but with the nerve damage and things, I viewed myself as a road hazard. Because if your feet and legs go numb, can you really drive?
right.
Right?
That's
So
true.
then I went to the eye doctor, and I'm glad I gave it up because if not, it would have been taken from me. Because now the retinitis pigmentosa has gotten worse. That my vision's decreased to now to 20/50 plus, which is not suitable for our permit. So tell her not to take it for granted because anytime anything can happen. Seriously.
Right. Yeah. It will. And going back to what you have, is that going to be eventually going to make you blind, or is that?
It could. That eye doctors when I was a child projected that I'd actually be completely blind by the time I was 18, but I was blessed enough to have my vision stabilized from the age of 16 up until a couple days ago. So
Oh, wow.
yes, and I have cataracts now too. So it's like the dark is getting darker and the bright's getting too bright.
Well, I hate it for you. Yeah, I feel for you. Hopefully, it's you made it this long, and it's just now starting to
Yeah,
show
and
itself.
so
So hey,
I'm like not really upset or anything. I just kind of like wow, relieved because it took this long to do it. And then encompassing with that, I had to have my hearing tested because my right ear, I was hearing myself two different. Even right now, I can hear myself two different ways through the headphones, which is really odd for me. And also certain other noises I don't hear, and I do actually need a hearing aid now for my right ear due to neurosensory hearing loss.
neurosensory hearing loss.
Yes.
So what is that? I mean, and obviously you don't have to tell me if it's too personal, but
Oh
because
no, it's okay because I like spreading awareness. Because if you don't talk about things, people aren't aware that they exist.
sure.
So like the neurosensory hearing loss, it's not like I had an accident or had a severe blow to my head to cause any damage to the bones or the structure or the eardrum and everything. That all looks fine. But sometimes, just sometimes, when you have eye diseases and stuff that are genetic and all that, like mine's been since birth. Sometimes when the eyesight decreases, the hearing can also decrease too as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. So
Yeah, my left eye, I don't have a prosthetic in it right now, but that one is micropalathemia. I have was born like that, where the eye is underdeveloped and things like that. So,
wow. Well, I mean,
but
you
I
made
don't
it
let
this far,
yeah,
and
I don't let any of it
yeah.
stop me. Not at all. Not at all.
Well, good. That's a great attitude, though. Honestly, I mean, a lot of people, and I know somebody where something happens, they think it's the end of the world, and it's almost like their mentality brings them down worse than what is wrong with them. So, I mean, you got a great attitude, and I'm wishing the best for you. So,
Well, thank you, but no, I try to take it as an opportunity to make awareness about it to let people know these things do exist. So, and not everybody knows that there are certain places, certain clinics for eyesight or eye doctor's office will give you a free exam. So,
oh,
people, if you are not seeing correctly, please reach out if you cannot afford an exam or don't have insurance to get one and find one where you can get a free one because children as the early as at the age one should be yearly getting their vision checked, as well as hearing just to make sure that you're on top of that. But my eye visit started when I was 3 months old.
oh, good. So, do you think that helped with one the
Yes.
diagnosis and then the treatment thereafter?
Yeah,
I would imagine.
basically, I just have to have really, really thick glasses. Because I'm both nearsighted and farsighted at the same time on one eye. So there's a degree of difficulty doing things with that. But I've learned a lot of things. Shout out to Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired out of Utica, New York, and Dr. Zuck, that was my low vision specialist, who taught me about different lighting instead of having a big old light that may be too much. Just kind of make little lights and put direct light on where you're working so it's not too much
Oh,
and
okay.
things like that. Also, everybody, whether you have 20/20 vision or not, please make sure you wear sunglasses in the sun to protect the health of your eyes, because the sun can cause things to rise in your eyes to damage them, and things like that that can also inhibit your vision as well. So make sure you get your yearly eye exams. Make sure you get your sunglasses and stay protected.
Yes, definitely. That's a good advice. And yeah, just like anything else, the dentist and your primary care, yeah,
Yeah, it's
your
like my
vision's just
my
as
my
much.
dentist venture is not over yet. Still got a lot of work to do in there, but that will come shortly. A little bit at a time, y'all. A little bit
Hey,
at a time.
that's
All
all you can
right,
do.
like yeah, because even the hearing exam. There's a lot of the hearing places that do the testing and have hearing aids and things like that that they'll give you a free exam.
Yeah, you take advantage of that. Yeah,
Yeah, so if
definitely have
any
to.
any point, guys, you don't feel like you're hearing correctly, seeing correctly, please go get it checked. So is there any special causes or things that you are hold near dear to your heart that you would like to give a shout out to?
You, uh, you know, for me, veteran suicide awareness uh, is important to me. Um, I think, you know, everybody, especially the military and veteran community, it is hard, and probably just like being, a first responder. Uh, because if I'm not mistaken, first responders suicides are on the rise or have been. I don't know what it's like today, but I think at a time those were rising as well, and that's that's dear to me because I have family members who are first responders. I have friends who are first responders. I have obviously have military buddies and veterans, and they all go through so much, and to lose the battle within, um, it's hard. It's they've given so much for other people, and whether it gets lost on them or they retire and they don't think they have nothing to live for because that was their identity, that's who they are. um, I think it's especially hard on those communities, so that's a big one for me is veteran suicide awareness. And there's bands that have done a great job with bringing that awareness too, and so more, I love them to death for that, just that alone. So
Yeah,
that's mine.
yeah. Shout out Browno's in the room, and he said, "I second that, Dustin."
Thank you, I appreciate it.
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen that. I seen he's got an awesome car that matches his guitar.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. He's a really cool guy. I can't wait to have him back on.
yeah, that was a good interview you had with him. Yeah, it was cool
Yeah.
learning about kind of what he was doing and getting into, and so yeah, it was a very good interview.
Do you have any pets?
I do. I have a dog. Well, okay, so I have an indoor dog. Uh, Her name's Nora. She's a Central Asian Shepherd.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yes, so she's a 140-pound lap dog is essentially what she is. And then I got a couple labs that they like to hang out outside, and then I got goats and chickens. Oh, and I
Nice.
got two ducks that seem to wander onto the property, and so they've made their home here. So
Nice. We got a couple chickens running around the neighborhood, and I'm trying to figure out what they. I went out, my husband outside to happy out. He's an 80-pound pit bull, golden retriever mix
okay.
that I adopted from Anderson County Paws. Great organization, no kill shelter. So, people, if you can't adopt, donate where you can because everybody needs help. But he goes to take him out. He said, "You got to come out here." I'm like, "Why?" Because I was here. I don't know where the noise was coming from. There was a rooster on top of one of my roofs, and I'm like, "Where did this co-" like? And then since that day, they're like all over like my street and the street behind me, and I don't even know who they belong to. And I feel like putting out an APB, but like, "Carol, come get your chickens."
Right,
Like, I don't know why or where. It's like I'd feel bad if there was somebody's pet or something or food source and a dog got them.
right.
I mean,
That's
because,
true.
I mean, but Carol, come get your chickens.
Hey, good thing is you can walk around your yard. Maybe you might find an egg or two.
Right. I keep looking, but I haven't yet. I'm hoping they later try to help the birds that come back there eat some of the, the not right things that, bugs and stuff that eat destroy your grasses. Things
Right?
like
Yeah.
you just hop right in and just take care of that. But it just the one day there, I think I even have a video up on it on one of my pages with the roosters actually with me talking to the rooster.
Oh, really?
It's so crazy though.
Oh,
Like
that's funny. Just wandering around your neighborhood, huh? Where your
yeah,
chick.
yeah. Every time Happy goes out because he's nonverbal, he don't bark. He comes back and goes, "Damn chickens, and you go home." Like
Oh, that's funny. That's awesome though. Just
yeah,
random
it
chickens rolling
is.
around.
It is, and I'm just like, I wonder, is anybody missing them? Are they trying to get them back? What's the situation? So listen, anybody over in the Homeland Park area, if you know what's going on with these chickens, hit me up and let me know because I'm kind of interested in the story. Because they'd come from across the street from I don't know whose house, but walk through, and as they're walking through, they're talking. They're like, "Hey, Shadow, what's up? How you doing?" And like keep walking. It's like they're on a daily adventure.
Hey.
It's interesting to me. Like these chickens are wild now everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome. You think somebody would be trying to wrangle them up because it's their chickens,
Right.
but hey,
Unless
maybe
they're
they,
feral chickens, I don't know.
yeah, maybe they flew the coop and they're on the run.
That could be. I mean, anything is possible. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
so you guys are streaming everywhere. Is there a place where people could go to like download and buy an album?
Uh, so right now we just got singles out. If you go to excuse me, tatervisionrecords.com, that's the indie label website that I'm on, and there you can find not only me but some other great bands that are on the label, and you can get all the stuff there, all the songs. There are some albums out there from some of the bands, and that's that's the best way. But yeah, I mean, you can go on any of the streaming sites and do it that way too. So, um, but there's something on that Tater Vision Records. Uh, there's bands for any taste. Really, it's a pretty wide range of some music and really good. So I recommend going over there, check it out. There's video teasers for all those songs or most of those songs also. So it's a good way to kind of check out the band or the artist and their
Hmm.
music too. So yeah, it's
That's
very
cool.
cool. Yeah. And uh, like I said, Tater, he kind of does this, he was in a band. He was a founding member of a band in the 2000s that came out. There's a band called 10 Years. Uh, and he was with them till about 2017 and then came out and he's like, hey, I'm done with the touring. I this is my love and passion now, is to learn to open up a label and record and produce and mix and master and everything else. So it's awesome that he's taken that knowledge that he had and now he's given it to his artists and anybody else to try to make them a better artist and the best version of them they can be. So it's awesome. So yeah, give if you guys would go show Tater Johnson some love, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. And if you don't like me, still go show him some love and just tell him you don't like me. I don't know.
Right. Also, there's somebody else too that hit me up the other day, Brother Moon. He's
Yes,
he's a label mate with you. He said I would be having
yes.
him on too.
Nice. Super cool guy. It's funny, we kind of came from the same neck of the woods back in Washington, didn't know about it. And yeah, he's got some stuff coming out under Tater Vision Records that
Mhm.
is going to be awesome. So I'm pumped to hear his new releases coming out too. Very cool guy. Uh, yeah, just an awesome dude all around. So I'm pumped for him. I'm really excited for him to come out with his new music, and
Oh, I know. He
it's
sent me just clips of him playing out somewhere. Also, we have a compliment on your beard. Yes, Brano says your beard is amazing. I wish I could grow one that big.
hey, I appreciate it. Hey, just get some good beard oil and just go through all the crazy, itchy, weird. It'd be like this sometimes, and but I appreciate it.
No, you really do have a cool beard, though.
Thank you, thank you. I call it my freedom beard because when I got out of the military, I was like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna shave it. I did a couple times. Well, in a funny story, it wasn't this long, but it was getting pretty long. And one day, my oldest daughter, back in about 2017, Dad, I don't remember what you look like without a beard. I wish you would shave it or something like that. I was like, well, okay, whatever. And I shaved it. And you thought that I set the world on fire. It was the worst mistake. My daughters couldn't look at me. It was bad news. So I said, all right, well, I'm never shaving it
Well, I
again.
I go through the shock with my husband. He'll like mess up or something. Then he's like, "Let me just take the whole thing off, start over." And he comes out now. He'll come out like this, and he'll be like, "I messed up. I messed up." I said, "What you doing?" And he goes like this, and I'm like, it literally is a shock. It's like I have pictures of him with no beard, but he's had a beard for the better part of the 16 years we've been together, and very few times without the beard. So
Oh yeah, that's well, and it's funny because so a little backstory without boring everybody, but
you're
uh,
not boring.
oh, I appreciate it. I was married before, had three daughters. My wife now was married before, had four daughters. So each of us got out of our relationships and got together and been together ever since. Um, but it's funny, uh, my wife, my youngest, and her daughters, well, they're my daughters too, but biological daughters, have never seen me without a beard. So they'll look at pictures of me in the military, and every once in a while, my wife, I think in her head, because we'll talk about it, she's kind of like, I would like to see you without a beard. And I'd be like, well, I shave it. It don't matter to me. Oh, no, 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 I'm not ready yet. No, no, I can just look at pictures. So it's fun. So I kind of get where you're coming from, where, even with your
Yeah,
husband, he
yeah,
shaves it and, so.
yeah. That's like it's like one of those things. It's like, oh, but it doesn't matter. He's handsome either way. So
See, this kind of hides a lot of stuff. That's why I wear a hat and glasses. I don't even need glasses. No, I'm just kidding. I do need glasses, but uh, yeah, yeah. It's better that I'm like wearing a mask. It's okay.
well, it's your comfort level. I mean, you know what I
Sure.
mean? So, run with it. Beards
Yeah,
are cool. They really are.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I like it. I don't like it in the morning when it's all crazy, but yeah, I like it. It's fun. It's fun to have and just kind of see how long I can grow it. Um, so I guess we'll see. Who knows? Maybe next time, if I ever get the opportunity to come on your show again, who knows?
Oh, you're welcome anytime. Anybody that wants to come back, anytime they want to come back on, even if you're pitching your new drop, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. In fact, I had interviewed Nzandi over on my Instagram last year, but I want to have him back to catch up to be like, okay, what have I missed?
Yeah. Great idea. Yeah, I like him too. And I always have the hardest time pronouncing the name. Inzandi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably the first time I ever pronounced it correctly, and it's only because I copied you. So no, I apologize. If you ever hear this, I wasn't no disrespect. I'm terrible at names half the time.
Well,
So
that's all right because I had to Google how to say it and get the phonetic, how they have it on Google with the phonetics. Like I
oh
had
sure.
to do that to learn how to say it because back in school, I used to be able to speak Latin, Spanish, and Italian pretty fluently. But if you lose it, you use it, you laugh. Hmm.
Sure.
Don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Things like that. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
I
true.
mean, and then I'm like looking at it like back 20 years ago, that wouldn't have been an issue. Trying to figure out how to say it.
Hey, I'm right there with you. It's yeah. There's sometimes I'll pronounce something. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. Should
No,
I
it's
pronounce?
a really cool name though.
Yeah, very cool name. Yeah, I don't know the origin behind it, but
But we'll probably have to get to that one day on the show and figure out why he chose
yeah.
that name. Yes. I think that would be cool though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't want to keep you any longer or inconvenience your day because you're probably pretty busy.
Oh,
Uh,
it's not a whole. I'm busy doing a lot of nothing. So, but
oh, okay. Well,
yeah, no, yeah, I definitely appreciate it. So,
oh no, and it's been a total pleasure talking with you too. Like,
likewise.
seriously, anytime you want to come back on, just get a hold of Phoebe, get a hold of me, whatever. We'll put it up.
Yes,
Okay. Les
yes.
Brown said no. Okay, hold on. He says, Dustin, your wife will be like, did you have fun talking about music? And you'll be like, we were talking about my beard. He says, great listening to us both. Well, listen, we can cover a lot of things, talk about the music
Oh
stuff,
Lord, that's awesome.
but
Yeah.
I like to learn about what makes the artist, like how they got to where they are and things like that too. I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
because
That's awesome. I love that comment. That
I
yeah.
know, I know. He's awesome.
Oh,
Everybody is
that's amazing.
awesome. Yes, and I gotta say thank you for the love and the support because that is really cool, by the way, and I do appreciate that. But anyways, I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to.
All right.
So we're going to go ahead and tell everybody thank you for following. Make sure you like, share, go follow the Major Resolve on all platforms. Stream where available, when available. Oh, and go follow the YouTube because eventually there'll be full length videos on there that I cannot wait for. So everybody, I'm gonna say peace, love, respect. Blaze, yeah, I'll see y'all on the flip side.